And do you wonder why you keep having arguments over the smallest things that logically do not make any sense, like the toothpaste, the trash can, that you never listen, or the toilet seat, for instance, that then turn into like major fights where you two like blow up at each other? Bro, I'm here for you to help you understand why this is happening, and it will blow your mind away. And I'm gonna obviously like show you how to resolve all this so that it doesn't happen in the future again, so that, bro, that you can have a fucking peaceful, fulfilling relationship with the woman that you love. Man, I hate to break it to you, but your logical responses to her complaints aren't gonna fucking cut it. I'm sure you figured that out by now. So when she complains about the trash, the toothpaste, you never listening, you never truly helping in the household, what she actually complains about is something deeper, because these explicit complaints are just the tip of the iceberg. And your mistake is that you, and bro, I've been there myself, so I'm not shaming you here for this or judging you, yeah? Like, you focus on the obvious that she actually isn't talking about. You need to start focusing on what's beneath the surface, the real deep stuff, the real issue. If you don't solve this, bro, you'll keep having these blowout like arguments, like where you both start like yelling at each other and you just fuck up your relationship or your marriage in the long term. So what is it that's beneath the surface? So what are the main reasons that you keep having these arguments over like small things that blow up? So there are several reasons, and we're going to focus on one today. And so the first reason this happens is communication style. Yeah, men and women communicate differently, and I'm going to touch on this very quickly. Women have a more, let's say, venting approach. So her arguing about the toothpaste is obviously, as I said, it's not about the toothpaste. It's about unaddressed emotions, actually. And those unaddressed emotions are a result of your lack of masculinity in the relationship. You've lost your masculine frame, and she's using these issues here as an excuse to bring it up. Now, why is she not telling you directly that she is fed up with you, that something is going wrong in your relationship? Because of this main point that we're going to talk about today, which is emotional regulation or your lack of. Now, when you have those arguments, as you keep doing so far, is you focus on the obvious, the explicit, right? You focus on what she says, you take it at face value. And then because you respond with logic, saying like, hey, I do all these things, I help you in the household, I always listen to you, and she then exploding on that logically doesn't make any sense to you, right? And it doesn't if you only focus on the tip of the iceberg. But if you actually understand what's beneath this, which is a lack of emotional regulation and a lack of emotional expression, then you understand that, from your side, by the way, that is the main reason, one of the main reasons she's keeps yapping about the things that actually logically don't make sense. So, as I said, most often men, when she starts yapping and starts not making logical sense, men do things. They either respond with their Andrew persona or their Kevin persona, yeah, depending on their attachment style. So Kevin is more anxious, Andrew is avoidant attached. Now, she feels in that moment that you are not who you truly are. In that moment, you either suck it up when she complains, and you take it as criticism, actually, when she says like, oh, you never do this and yada, yada, yada. And it might be like framed as a criticism or like voiced or communicated as a criticism, but she's not criticizing you as a person, even though your ego interprets it that way. She's criticizing your lack of actions, and in this regard, lack of emotional expression. Now, you might be saying, bro, I express my emotions through anger. Yeah, but what I mean, actually, what she wants to see is in a regulated way. When she starts yapping and you either blow up or you freeze or you stonewall, that's not a regulated emotional response. What actually is happening in this moment, bro, is that you have become the emotion, or the emotion has actually started to control you. That means you are irregulated, you're unregulated, bro. And she feels that. She feels when you stonewall, she feels that you're angry. She feels when you're freezing and you're acting like a Kevin in that moment, and that you don't want to share it because you're afraid of hurting her, or maybe your nervous system is so messed up that you can't share it. And the reason why she feels this is because it's in the women's intuition. FYI, coming back to the communication style, women communicate to vent and bond. Yeah, they bond through communication. That's why they yap a lot. That's why they talk a lot about feelings rather than facts. Yeah, so women have been evolutionary equipped with a much better system to pick up on emotions and feel emotions. Yeah, because women vent and they want validation through other women in the group. Yeah, so that's why when women were together, when they grab a coffee together and yap about some random shit, all they want is to relieve themselves of this emotional burden, and the other women are supposed to pick up on the emotions that she's feeling and then validate her with the right emotions, you know, through labeling, whatever. Techniques don't matter in this moment. Yeah, so that's why women are also so much better at like holding frame in a relationship, because they have regulated their emotions, bro. Most men don't do it. They believe regulating emotions is suck it up. Or but that over time doesn't work. Over time that won't work because it's an unsustainable strategy, because emotions cannot be destroyed, they cannot be suppressed, they can only be converted. And she feels that. So when she accuses you of not sharing or like not regulating your emotions, that's what she means. But because you always like freeze or blow up when you have an avoidant style, attachment style, and you're in your Andrew, she feels essentially unsafe, bro. You know why? Because when you blow up, I hope you can fucking see this. When you blow up, in that moment, she turns into someone else, like you, right? In that moment, you trigger her attachment style as well. So let's say you are talking about household, yeah? Like, oh, she accuses you of never taking the trash out, and you're saying, well, I did take it out yesterday or last week, and then she brings up something else, which you then logically respond to, which she then responds to with another accusation. Yeah. What is happening in that moment is that you're getting more and more triggered. Yeah. You're like becoming more tense, and she feels that, and subconsciously she's gonna pick up on your tension, and essentially what's happening in that moment is you're setting her nervous system on fire, because she feels like there is a threat. Because she picks up on that energetic frequency that you're on, but you're not voicing it. So she goes into defense mechanism as well. And what's happening in that moment, bro, and this is fucking mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing to me, you know, when this kept happening in my relationships, and until I figured out that this is all around like emotional safety and nervous system. It's like, it's not you against her, like it's not you and her, it's like you against her, but it's like, essentially I call it it's like King Kong versus Godzilla now. Yeah, it's your nervous system against her nervous system in that moment when you have an argument, and this is because it's your nervous system is being expressed through your attachment style. So let's say you are in your Kevin response, you freeze, then that might activate her Becky response. Yeah, and then she's gonna fight whatever you say. Because when you don't share your emotions, you know what it sounds like to a woman? That means in that moment that you don't trust her. Because let's say, imagine that women and men are from different planets, yeah? Hercules is from Mars, Aphrodite is from Venus. Now on Venus, everyone speaks emotionese. On Mars, everyone speaks rationese. Now, because she's only used to Venus, emotionese, she's going to interpret your lack of communication as you don't trust her anymore. You don't love her anymore. And that's why her nervous system is going to get fucking triggered, right? That's why she's going to either activate her fight, her Becky persona, or her flight, her Emily persona. That's why in an argument, you feel like, I don't recognize her anymore. Because, yeah, actually, she put up her persona to protect herself, yeah? And you put your persona up when you fight with her. It's either Kevin or Andrew, depending on your attachment style. Now, what's happening inside of her? And I need you to understand this, bro, because if you don't understand this, you will always fuck this up, and then she will leave you, or she will cheat on you, or you. And this goes further than that. Like, ignore this. Ignore she leaving her, or she cheating on her, bro. This goes beyond that. If you want a fulfilling relationship, a peaceful relationship, and if you want her to also be able to openly communicate what she wants or what she's afraid of, you have a rational conversation, which is possible, bro. You just need to make her feel safe and emotionally connected to you. Because Sandra and I, like, we don't have major arguments anymore. We have disagreements, which we then resolve. Let me show you, bro. We resolve that with, like, a whiteboard, bro. Here's our whiteboard, bro. Here we've resolved our issues, like, okay, how do we want to show up in a relationship? It's a purely logical conversation, but because I have allowed her to feel emotionally safe and connected to me. And how do I do that? By regulating my emotions, bro. So where the fuck was I? So when she blows up, you need to just understand that in that moment, she doesn't feel emotionally connected to you and she doesn't emotionally feel safe around you. Yeah? And because, and in that moment, what you need to do, bro, is you need to start being able to calm the fuck down. Because if you don't, like, if right now you two are it's persona versus persona. It's King Kong versus Godzilla. Yeah, and I let you choose who you want to be. Now, if you don't too, I haven't watched the movies, but I know that when King Kong and Godzilla fight, in whatever city they're in, collateral damage. Fucking collateral damage, bro. If you want to avoid that from happening, one of you has to step up and step out of this. Literally, step out of this fucking behavior. Now, ideally, it's you because you're the masculine. Yeah, you're in your masculine. You're the fucking leader of the relationship. So I want you to step out of your Godzilla response, your Andrew response, and go into the Hercules response. By that, I mean, you don't talk about the bin, the toothpaste, or whatever, the household. You address the unaddressed emotions. Remember, Aphrodite or women from Venus speak emotionese. Men speak rationese. In that moment, you want to persuade her to feel safe around you. And you do that by regulating your fucking emotions. And how do you convey that? By actually not losing your shit, by not stonewalling, by actually embracing the conversation, by acknowledging her, by validating her. And if you want to learn all this, bro, join my academy, bro, like where I can teach you all of this, like through our community, through the hours and hours of content that I have, and I can help you get a PhD in female nature and liberate you also from this mental prison that most of you guys are in, that become anxious around like having hard conversations and when a woman snaps, bro, and you will be surrounded by a band of high achieving fucking brothers, bro, and it's fucking epic to see everyone grow together, you know? It's all about becoming better men on top of like attracting better relationships. Anyways, it's your job as the masculine to lead her out of this emotional chaos that you put her in by not regulating your emotions. Why is not regulating your emotions such a threat to her? First of all, because obviously, as I said, she feels like you're not trusting her because you don't share your emotions. But also because you've shown in the past that you're unpredictable, that you snap at any moment, that you freeze at any moment, you tell her, leave me alone, I don't want to talk about this. Because fundamentally, as men, we are not equipped to express our emotions ourselves, you know, our feelings, because we lack the language, we lack the expression, or we are incapable of expressing truly how we feel because we are so disconnected from our feelings. Now, I'm not saying that you should completely open up and be a total mess in front of her and become emotionally like collapse in front of her. All I'm saying is be capable of having a normal conversation with her, and you do that by being capable of breathing into the fucking stress response that you get when she's yapping, breathing into the inflamed and fired up nervous system that you experience in that moment as well. Yeah, because that will show here that you go from this unpredictable, like walking nutcase, as I call it, this walking fucking Godzilla, that you turn into I don't know, Captain America. Yeah, if you look at, let's use another example. Do you know Agent Romanov in the Avengers? Like Hulk always lost his shit and everyone was fighting him. He calmed down when Agent Romanov, yeah, Scarlett Johansson, calmed him down with soothing him. Soothing, like, let's flip the script. When you soothe her in that moment of madness, that's when her nervous system will calm down. And that's when she will feel safe enough to actually express her true needs over time. Because then you actually confirm that she can feel safe around you and that she can express her like emotional needs, and you can form a stronger bond, and by that you form a deeper connection. So actually, like preventing those arguments or like preventing fights, what I just did here is also teach you how to build a deeper connection with her so that she never wants to leave you, that she never wants to cheat on you, because you're the fucking guy, man. Now, I talked a lot about like that, what you need to do. And I already gave you a bit of a step into like what you should do, which is breathing. Breathing is a fantastic way of regulating your emotions. But there's one more thing or two more things that you need to do. First of all, I need you to understand that anger isn't bad. A lot of guys in this, like I call them Noah, in the spiritual world, they make you feel like that anger is bad and you should never feel anger. Anger is actually healthy. Anger is a natural evolutionary response to something in the external. Now you actually taking like accepting that and being okay to feel angry, that's fantastic, bro. Just don't lash out. Release it in a controlled way. So what I do throughout the week when I feel extremely tense and extremely stressed, I go, I don't know, into the forest and I fucking scream out like all my fucking anger, like, "Rah!" And that helps me to release all that tension that's built up. And that then allows me to be calm and composed when she brings this up. Because fundamentally, that she brings that only up because she's tense herself. Maybe she has a stressful job right now, whatever is causing stress, she's incapable of expressing it to you because the last couple of arguments you always blew up. So now she feels like she can't tell you exactly what's happening, because otherwise you're gonna even lose, like you're gonna like go directly into like atomic bomb mode. So that's why she's using these things as an excuse. Now, if you stay calm during those arguments and you say, hey, it sounds like, Sandra, it sounds like you're pretty upset about the bin. And she's going to say, yes, I am. And you say, okay, so what's actually happening? What's frustrating about it? And then she's going to actually say, yeah, because I feel like you don't understand me. I feel like you don't like support me, yada, yada, yada. And you just listen, you acknowledge it, you validate it, and like, yeah, okay. So how can we work through this? And then you actually realize that over time she's going to open up, and you realize it's actually she feels unloved in the relationship because you're never there. You're such a high achiever. You're always in your head, but you don't share your heart, for instance, your feelings. And yeah, man. And one more specific technique: regulate your nervous system. 4, 5, 7 breathing. 4 seconds in, hold, and then 7 seconds out. Focus on the exhale because that's going to regulate your nervous system, bro. And yeah, man, if you found this helpful and you want to join my community, there's a fucking link somewhere. I would love to see you in there. If you feel like you're too afraid to join, your call, bro. Ciao.